Welcome to another episode of Sequeled, guys. I'm James. This week, you guys, the fans, challenged me to do Chasing Amy. This will be a fun one. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah.
My name is Blaise, and I'm just going to be throwing a wrench in all of your sequel ideas.
Yeah.
So let's get right into it.
Right. So this is our second Kevin Smith movie. You did Mallrats. Now I'm doing Chasing Amy, the long-awaited sequel that everyone asked for. No, just kidding. Everyone loves Chasing Amy. I love it, but everyone seems to want to see Mallrats or Clerks. But where would we go Chasing Amy now, though? Well, I think everyone, one of the first things, like the elefante in the room, is there's no character named Amy in the movie. You think that the main character is the main girl character, at least, is Alyssa. Like the whole movie, I remember first time I was watching, I was like, wait, what the hell? Like her name's not Amy, so who's Amy? When's Amy gonna show up? You don't figure out what Amy is till like 100 minutes in the movie with only like 20 minutes left to go and stuff. Yeah, I always thought that was funny. So what am I gonna call the sequel? I guess you got to start with the title. It's gonna be called Chasing Aaron.
Oh, shoot. Who's Aaron?
Yeah, who is Aaron? He's just going to be the story part of the movie. There is no one named Aaron. Yeah, but our main characters, though, again, I'm actually bringing them back. I'm not trying to redo the movie with new characters. It's going to take place in Jersey, and I'm going to bring back Holden and Banky. Holden, played by Ben Affleck. This is one where everyone realized, like, oh, Ben Affleck can act and stuff. He was the creepy pedo. And
This is why he got Batman.
Exactly. This is why he got Batman. Yeah, that goatee is why he got Batman. Yeah.
Dude, he should have the goatee.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like he needs the goatee back in his life.
Yeah, I mean,
That artist, like, you look at that goatee and you're like, he's an artist.
Yeah.
Like, no one that's not an artist.
It's such a late 90s thing, and just out of nowhere disappeared once 2000.
Bring goatees back.
Yep.
I'm growing one out officially now.
And also, of course, is going to come back is Banky, played by Jason Lee. So they're going to be the two main characters. But as we saw at the end of the first Chasing Amy, kind of no one got together. Their friendship was broken. His Holden's relationship with Alyssa didn't really work out. So now we're going to go years into the future. We're going to take place in current times right now. Good old 2017.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah, I guess 2018, though, if we're being realistic, because this movie wouldn't come out till next year at the
I mean,
earliest.
yeah, if you're being realistic,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I need this much time to shoot it. Do you have the script ready? So
No,
this
I
might
don't.
be
I
2019.
can get it done.
to
I
be
can get it done in
honest.
3 weeks, so I think, yeah.
This might be 2019
Yeah.
if you're thinking realistically.
We can get the ball running and then, like, start filming.
Do you have a
in November,
theatrical
I feel like.
date? You know, like...
We're shooting for September next year. We're this time next year right now.
You might be up against, like, the Winter Soldier 2
Yeah.
or something if you're...
Oh, the Infinity War next year.
Well, I don't know.
It's
I
gonna
feel
play
like
all through May and all
The
June,
Infinity
July, and
Soldier.
August. Yeah.
It's like the E.T. of Marvel movies.
Yeah. You could say that.
Yeah.
So with Chasing, the long-awaited sequel, though, we know it's going to have such a big release. What's it called? I've imagined Holden and Banky, they've gone back together as friends. Like, they've kind of worked out their differences. But it's going to kind of flip around. We kind of saw that Banky was in love with Holden at the end of the movie. He says, like, no, you're technically in love with me. You want to have a threesome with me and stuff. And he was, like, kind of... He wasn't being homophobic about it, but it was just, like, it was too much for him. He couldn't fathom it. But overall, this movie, it is him. He's in love with fucking Holden and stuff.
Oh, my God. This reminds me of, like, Chuck and Larry or something.
I haven't seen that movie.
I haven't seen it either, but it reminds me of the trailer, which is enough.
But it's kind of unfair, though, also. Like
Is
when
this going to be the Moonlight of Kevin Smith comedies?
Maybe. Yeah. But it is unfair, though, kind of for a straight guy to fall in love with a lesbian girl and be like, oh, you need to fall in love with me because I'm being nice to you and stuff. And a lot of people, technically, what I like about Chasing Amy is I think it kind of gives everyone like a great thought. Like, a lot of guys like have this thing like, oh, you've had sex with this many people. What the fuck? You're a fucking slut. And I don't agree with that terminology whatsoever. It's disgusting. And kind of this movie, I feel like, is a good example to show to people. Just like, yo, she's with you. Your girlfriend's with you right now. Who cares about her fucking past?
So if you don't agree with that, where would be your cutoff?
What do you mean?
Like, how many guys?
Yeah. Oh, I don't care. Yeah. Yeah.
You just would rather you're like don't ask, don't tell military policy,
just
right?
I don't
Like,
care. You're with me.
but if you
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
to ask, where are you gonna cut it off?
Yeah, I mean, I'll throw in a Clerks reference. 37 dicks. You suck 37 dicks. I don't give a fuck.
As long as
funny.
it's in a row.
Yeah.
As long as it's not in a row. I mean,
In a row?
Nah.
But with this one though, I kind of want to have the friend zone thing be a thing overall. Banky feels like Holden's putting him in the friend zone. Like, yo, I've been friends with you for this many years and stuff. Why aren't you putting out and stuff? But like that is unfair, and that's where Jay and Silent Bob come in and throw this fucking like knowledge on him. Yeah, because Jay and Silent Bob come in and chasing Amy and throw. They're in
everything.
Yeah, they throw in that knowledge on Holden.
Dropping that knowledge.
Yeah. So with this though, it's like, yo, this is unfair of you just because like you're being friends with him. Like, you know, he's not attracted to you. You got to learn this whatsoever and stuff. So that's like going to be the climax of the movie. Banky learns his lesson. Like, you know, it's really unfair just because you're being nice to someone, you're close friends, and you fall in love. It's really unfair of you to
expect something
and expect them to fall in love and share that same feeling towards you. So that overall is my main premise and like kind of how the movie would flow. I mean, that's like kind of spread out. That would be the concept. I didn't really come up with any scenes except for one that I thought would be funny. I thought it'd be hilarious to have like a really big panel they've kind of blown up and are at Comic-Con, not Hall H and shit. Not Ballroom 20, but like room 7BAC. That's like
7BAC or ABC.
Yeah. Where it's still packed though. It's super packed. They've gone pretty big. Like they have a really packed crowd at Comic-Con, and they kind of have an argument, like kind of where they're being like just really like heated towards one another, where like they're just like kind of back talking one another in front of everyone at a panel, but everyone's just like confused and just like
that could be really funny. And it all starts off with one nerd asking just a question that you're just like, what? Because there's always one guy who asks a question at Comic-Con that you're just like, dude, what? Like, and there's also like that one guy who wears the same shirt every year and always asks a question.
Always that guy with the same Superman shirt with the curly hair and carrying a backpack like up forward and shit. Yeah. I have a specific person in mind, but like I just thought it would be funny. Yeah, someone asked a question like maybe to Holden, Ben Affleck's character, saying like, "Oh, how do you feel? Like I felt like this character was neglected in your comic. Like, what are their status like on a relationship with this person?" And then like maybe Banky cuts in like, "Oh, well, obviously like the way Holden runs things in his life, he's not gonna allow this person to be happy and fall in love." And then like they just like get heated and just like, are you trying to say something? And it's like, yeah, I'm just saying like
there's a huge fight.
Yeah, and it's just everyone in the audience is just so confused on what the hell's going on.
I like it. I think that this is it's a different take you took on the film. I think it still holds like the original film like at heart, and I think it's an appropriate sequel. Like I think it's the right move forward if we're gonna take that leap. I think this would probably be the best way to go.
And also I think also with the 90s, while I love a lot of 90s movies like American Pie, that movie was it was made for our generation, but when you watch it now, you're just like, oh damn, there's some homophobic jokes back then. While you might not necessarily have been homophobic, there were offensive terms like saying like, oh, that's so gay, why are you doing that and stuff. Like back then, that's how these characters were. While they didn't have a problem with gay people, there's a gay character in the movie, but back then like they would have said like some homophobic stuff or acted homophobic. But nowadays, where it's much more common, maybe Banky is like much more cool with his sexuality and stuff. Like he's bisexual. While he's still attracted to women, though, he's like always been kind of hiding the fact that he is attracted to men and wants to be with his best friend. So I thought like, oh cool, we can like modernize this movie, because Chasing Amy, while I would say it's a very great like a gay film like for its time back then, like there is still some homophobic stuff within it, like if you watch it currently. And they could fix that with Chasing Amy or with Chasing Aaron now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you could have a realistic approach for right now, but eventually as you go down the line, everything's going to just get outdated, at least with its sentiments.
Touche. Yeah.
So it could fix it in a way, but I think all films are essentially a time capsule to that era.
Yeah, that's a great point, yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's not really fixing anything. It's just updating it.
So we'll need to see a third one, I guess.
Yeah, we'll need to see a third one, and then eventually just keep going. Yeah. Chasing Amy 7.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I dig it. I dig your sequel. I think it's where this series, if there was going to be a sequel, I think that's where it should go.
Cool.
What am I going to do next week?
Gotcha. Well, I want to hear some of your guys' suggestions. So far, I'll challenge you so far for the next week, but guys, challenge me, and then also we'll get one for Blaise, so that way we'll leave it up to you guys. But for next week, I'm going to challenge you to do a movie I haven't finished and you haven't finished.
Fuck you. Yeah. I know what it is. Oh, God, why?
Movie that, like, I like so far from what I've seen. I've just been unlucky and just always pass out. But I'm gonna challenge
I'm
you
never
to do
doing
The
this.
Fog.
I'm never
We got a sequel, or we got a remake, but we've never gotten a sequel to it. Though.
The Fog is a movie that I love like putting on, and then like 30 minutes later I like wake up and like, oh, the credits are rolling. I'm like, dude, how did I've never made it through The Fog, and I've enjoyed everything I've seen. I've liked it. And of course you're gonna hit me with this when I'm wearing my Carpenter shirt, like, and then I'm just like, I'll just pass out, I'll fall asleep. It's like a good ghost story. Like when you're a kid, you're getting told a good ghost story, and like you're scared, but it still puts you to sleep.
That's how the movie starts out.
Yeah,
it's a guy at a campfire telling a story.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole film is like a ghost. Like that's
right.
It's the ghost story movie. So I'm looking forward to at least come up with a sequel. But it's just like, dude, I don't think I'm gonna finish the the film still. I'm gonna come up with something after I read the Wikipedia. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, sure thing.
But anyways, I'm looking forward to doing the. Do you have that on VHS?
I do have it on.
It's
VHS,
over there somewhere. I mean, usually we put it in front of the movie, but I mean, it's fine. You don't have to do it.
Yeah, today. We'll have it here for next week. Yeah.
Looking forward to doing that, guys. Check out some of our previous videos. We sequel a ton of great things. Check out some of those and look forward to next week. We're going to be talking John Carpenter's The Fog.